All right. Good morning. What is going on, everybody? Hope we're having a great start to the day here. Market's about to open. About to see SPY would make its opening move. Looks like it might try to make a little pop higher here. We'll see. Had a little gap down this morning. Actually, a pretty big one. From like 693.80 all the way down to lows closer to 689. Pretty much like a 5-point drop. Starting to see it try to come back here, though, at the open. So let's see if it can blast through pre-market highs and start to fill this gap back up or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it tried. Oh, there we go, SPY. It's weird, though. The SPY just cannot sustain new all-time highs lately. Every time that it breaks, we get a pullback. Here's the breakout Friday, little gap down today. Breakout to new highs Wednesday, immediate reversal, big move down. Like, it's not sustaining the highs, which is a bit weird. Now, I will say, in the ultra short term, this pullback isn't very large yet. Not very large at all. Kind of like the small pullback from Wednesday into Thursday and then Friday, where we got that good breakout going again. Now, if we do see this recent low here on the SPY start to give out, at 687.50 to 688, then I'm going to turn more bearish, and I'm going to look for more of a move like the box that I'm highlighting here. But it's important that that support level really does start to give out. At least for me, good confirmation. All right, there we go. Yeah, sorry, first last. Didn't switch over the screen. 687.50. Tangy Man. First last, Joe Papa. Sorry, I got excited after the intro. Preemptively jumped the gun. I like that, though. This is a big support range. This is the one I was referencing right here. But for now, there's a big gap for the SPY to fill. It'd be pretty cool for it to fill all the way back up to like 693.80. That'd be pretty awesome recovery there. So far, so good with that nice rip. What's up, losing better? Zach, I love YouTube. Pin, Tangy Man, Truckers, Sharpie, Potters, Outlaw, Ramirez, First Last, Joe Papa, Alexander, VT, User, First Last, Ramirez, Atro, what's up? Jake, Almighty J, 300Z. I tried to get my vet started this weekend, and of course, the battery's dead. Tangy Man. I love that. It looks like we have liftoff too, Tangy Man, with the way the market's moving here. You did say OSS earlier. One Stop Systems had a pretty nice move early on today. They are slowing down, though. Getting a little bit slow. Oh, I saw Mike said silver was going. Whoa, big gap up with silver once again. Beautiful move on the daily chart. All right, sorry about that, guys. Getting Thinkorswim open here. Had to force close it here this morning again. Tried it pretty quick, though. Got the watch list going. Tempest leading the way up 11%. I know a lot of people must be loving silver, though. 5-minute chart, Tempest is starting to pull back in a pretty good fashion, so not the best opening run there by Tempest. B2 Gold Corp, though, with gold and silver moving. We're seeing BTG looking pretty solid. Around 4.49% right now. BABA just up over that, hitting 5% plus on their gap up. I know these China stocks have been doing pretty good. Here's JD again. Play that Mike called out on the video last night. It's been a recent big money trade as well. JD, though, is looking awesome here as it holds support, tests this upper range, and is actually starting to break. Let's go, JD. But Baba's on second on the watch list there. JD is pretty close. They're up 2.5%. They're like in the middle of the watch list, at least the first page. Of course, as we scroll down, we have a lot, but B, Barrick Mining, good gap up with the metals again. Almost up to $50. Is Barrick at an all-time high yet? Hang on. I don't think they are, but no, not quite. Not quite. Pretty big resistance around 55 to the high around 56. A lot of hits and rejections there. You sold $10 calls on OSS. 9.52. I like how 10 is coming up there. Let's see that 1 minute again. Good morning. Happy second week of 2026, Rick says. You're welcome. So you sold the 10 strike calls on OSS. That's pretty good. Covered calls, I'm assuming. You might end up getting a sign there, but that's okay. SNDK all-time high. 392, 393. Man, SNDK has been ripping through that resistance like nothing lately. It had that one big consolidation day, which was nice last week, but wow, again, huge face rip at open. Damn. I don't even think I have them on the watch list. Nope, I didn't. There they are. Up there fighting with Baba for 5th place. Let's go see MP Materials here. Very slow and choppy from open. I guess not slow and choppy, pretty volatile, but not really, it hasn't ended up moving much. Stayed right in the middle of the range. Yeah, I figured so, Tangy. 500% though, holy shit. Nice gains. I figured it'd be something, but whoa. User says pretty much everything that's ripping up is indicating overbought on RSI right now though. Well, I don't really like the RSI, user. And I really don't like it for that reason. Everyone thinks everything's overbought, but I mean, stuff just goes and goes. Same thing to the downside sometimes. Just depends. Of course, I like using it with other strategies and stuff, but I don't live or die by it at all. SPY's definitely getting up there, though. It's to the point where it's kind of hard to justify it. What's up with SPB? Spectrum Brand Holdings. This isn't Charter Spectrum, is it? I don't think so. The Spectrum Brand Holdings. Speaking of Charter, though, they're dying. Whoa. SPB. Seems like they're coming up off of the dip in a pretty awesome way. As far as the setup itself goes, this is an amazing setup. I love it. I love the setup here. I could see it continuing to go higher. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit resistance closer to 68, but even if it pulls back a little bit or something, I could see it holding this range and then ultimately getting another leg up. Love this setup here. As far as a technical chart setup, I'm a big fan of this one. It also would be a nice higher low from here, which is good. It's not going to line up good on the trend line, I don't think. I don't think it's going to line up good on the trend, but yeah, not really. It was actually lining up pretty good as it dropped through and rejected a few times actually. It seems like it's trying to push back through it now again, though. Not a huge fan of that. Lots of stuff at 52-week highs. I know, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. We looked at some stats on yesterday's video where stocks are coming up out of correction, and it's been pretty nice. Let's see Tessie, one of everybody's favorites. Let's go check Nvidia now, because they're both moving pretty well. All right, Mag 7, we'll throw it up. Might as well. Monday scares me, user says. I've got cold feet. My goal is to not FOMO now. Why is SNDK so expensive? They've been flying up because they are one of the biggest memory chip makers, and there's been a lot of hype around these memory chips. In the short term, there's even been supply shortages, and they're starting to raise prices as well. So SNDK is going to benefit from that, of course, as they are. Kind of reminds me of like Nvidia on their initial rip. Kind of like back in 2021 or something. Keep in mind they split, so it looks like they were a lot lower priced than they are, but the pretty nice rip that started happening there. And of course 23, 24, you know, getting it done again. Does seem like a move similar to that, though, with how overextended it's becoming in the short term. Let's see, if we go to just like the beginning of August, let's say. This isn't perfect, but 843% essentially. Damn. The options are also priced high. Yeah, the premiums are going through the roof probably right now. Let me throw it up here really quick. It's SNDK. Oh yeah, look at that implied volatility at 111%. Yeah, that's a pretty crazy one there. It was pretty high recently. The premiums actually went down a little bit as it started rising again, but now it's getting to the point where you're seeing them pop back. It might get as high as 130% again if it keeps it up. That would be pretty funny if it did. Really good time to make some premium plays, like kind of like taking advantage of higher premium, like let's say some put debit spreads if you're looking for a drop back down, or maybe even covered calls right now would be a really good thing to do. If you think it might go higher, I would definitely stick to call credit spreads, because you take advantage of those high premiums on the shorted leg. Coconut. Is that the first time you saw that movie, Coconut? That is funny. I can't believe you've seen that. Or you haven't seen that yet. That was like one of the movies that actually like awoken me to like what investing was at all. Like I had no idea, really. And then I watched that and it was game over. What do you think Intel's doing? INTC has been great. Now, today they might be slowing down a little bit. It looks like they are getting a little slow today. I mean, that makes sense. They're not going to do great every single day, right? But whenever I see Intel here, they've had some great positivity in the short term. Trump has even talked positively about them. They're in kind of that pattern where they keep breaking out, but each time they break out, they pull back. So I'm getting worried that we do end up seeing a pullback here today. But overall, keep it on the radar. You know, if we do start to see some good momentum and like, let's say the gap starts filling and then they start breaking through the gap and breaking out to a new recent high, then, you know, we'll keep watching it for a potential scalp there. But for right now, it seems like a no play. Seems pretty slow and choppy. SPY's been pretty awesome back up. It's getting close to filling the gap. The gap's going to fill around 693.80. It might not end up getting there. It got to 693.24 here. 693.23. Pretty good move back, though, I'll say. Really good recovery back. Good morning, Tom. How's MU playing out? So far today, oh no, they came back. I was gonna say they were pretty weak initially. I hadn't looked at them since open, but they ended up ripping up very well. Now they did start pulling back, so I guess they did get weak, but I guess it was good to see him break through that high. Nvidia was failed to really break through. AMD is making a good comeback. Some of these chip stocks are really helping propel that SPY back up there. Let's see if SPY can make a new high of the day. If not, it might form a little base here. But so far, it's been pretty bullish. So we'll see if the bulls can keep it going. Memory chip stocks are reversing now, Aoli said. SNDK? Yeah, it did start pulling back there a little bit. What do you think of Datadog? 125? Mr. James said Dumb Money was pretty good. Ariel said, I need these bulls to save my ass. Hopefully they can help you out there. Datadog looks pretty badass today, though. I like the way it's coming back off the dip. Could be a good buy the dip opportunity. Around 124.50. Seems like a base is trying to form. We are seeing a lot of stocks go green here, so I wouldn't be surprised. Holy, Tesla started really ripping whenever we looked off of it here a minute ago. Damn. I switched around to some of these chip stocks and Tesla went on a fucking face ripper. Wow. 449. Did the market rally because of Powell? Did Powell say something today? I hadn't seen that. Mr. JP. Jerome. Raise rates, Jerome. Or, I mean, don't raise them. I don't mind if they get raised a little bit, but I know everyone's going to be pissed if that happens. That would be wild, wouldn't it? Is he? Oh, being investigated? Let's see. I had not heard that today. Yeah, I see that. Powell probe. Powell says he's under a criminal investigation. Oh, wow. The article came out late last night. No wonder. Yeah, there was a video statement by him. Let's watch it.
Good evening.
You guys want to watch it real quick with me?
On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned, in part, a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. No, I thought that was pretty weird, though, wasn't it? I can't believe that we're hearing that today. Pretty crazy statement that he threw out there. Not a statement, but I guess a video. I guess it's whatever you want to call it. Video message, they're calling it. Okay. Video message is what we'll call it. But yeah, pretty interesting. I wonder how that's going to end up going through. Either way, Powell's out in May, so he's like, F this, I'm too old. Oh, you guys are funny. But yeah, whenever I hear that, I mean, you know, you think about everything that's been happening lately. Inflation hasn't really been that high. Now, if we see inflation this week, especially this week, on Tuesday, tomorrow actually, 1 hour before open, if we see the inflation rate come in low and we get another low reading, like showing that inflation's kind of sticking around this, you know, let's say between 2.5 and 3%, like somewhere in that range, I think that's going to be just fine. You would think that they could actually start lowering rates a little bit again, which they have been, but we'll see what they do at the January meeting. It does sound like, though, that there is a lot of political pressure coming from Trump here to Powell, so things are getting a bit weird for sure. Definitely getting a bit weird. Yeah, I'd probably think the same way, though, D-Man. He's getting ahead of the potential smear campaign. Holy shit. Sorry, guys, I was writing a note down, and I just stabbed myself with a pen by mistake. I thought I was putting the cap on, and I put the cap on the wrong end and stabbed myself. Crap. Sorry, that's silly. I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy for making that crazy sound. Ow. Man, Tesla, though, $450 again. What a good rip. No blood, luckily, user. No blood. It just really freaked me out. Your hand hurts thinking about it. Thank God it wasn't a pencil. Oh, you were out on the e-bike last night, Demir. Okay. Yeah, never, Steve. But yeah, that's an interesting situation with Jerome Powell there. I'm not really necessarily upset with either person on the situation. I think that there could be room probably for Powell to still lower rates. You know, if we start seeing inflation jump above 3%, then maybe, but I don't know. I don't really foresee anything terrible. I think people would rather have the rates lower and just have inflation stay around 3%. But again, that everyone has an opinion there. So if you're short on income and you're short on stuff, you know, nobody wants to see inflation up. The thing is, though, is that inflation, if it's at 3%, we have to keep in mind that prices are still going to stay up. Like, it's not like if we keep inflation low around 2%, that doesn't mean that like the price of, like, let's say beef is gonna fall by like 50% or something. That's not the case at all. It just means it's not gonna go up as fast. That's all. I know a lot of people know that, but I know that there's a lot that don't really think of it that way either. Palantir, big pullback here though intraday. SPY's holding up great, kind of like Tesla. Yeah, it is. It is, Tangy. It is. It's an opinion. I think a lot of people want to get houses, so I would think that, especially young people, they're really into that. Trump's gonna win a lot of young people over with that. I know. I wonder what this whole deal with his representatives and like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac like buying up mortgage bonds to lower yields and rates. I wonder that's gonna be interesting. I'm curious your thoughts on that, Tangy, man. I had a 2% pre-approved mortgage rate before inflation went transitory and interest rates soared. Then out of state people came in, drove up prices, and made inventory scarce. Now I wait. Yeah, Rick, I know. It's one of those situations where, you know, you're either gonna take the jump or you're gonna wait. And it's hard to make the jump whenever you're at a 2% rate. Tangy doesn't think that lowering the rates is a good idea for the common man. Interesting. I like to hear your thoughts, though. That's cool. They will lower rates. The question's just when. I just hope that we don't get to the part like 1980s where we were seeing like 25% interest rates and stuff. That was insane back then. SPY's starting to pull over a little bit. Looking at Mag 7 here, Meta and Google are looking pretty weak as Microsoft turns over as well. If Microsoft breaks under this support, it's going to look pretty rough, but seems to be trying to hold. Just down a little bit of a mango smoothie. I've been drinking these naked smoothies that I get from Costco for a fairly cheap price for what it is. California people love moving to Tennessee. Now we're getting an In-N-Out. Hey, I'd like to have an In-N-Out here in Missouri. I wish that they'd come here, Mighty J. Lowering rates is terrible. It'll just drive more leverage speculation. You're probably right. Outlaw says owning a home is a huge responsibility. You're always working on something. You're probably right. I feel like there's always something wrong with this one. Although I am moving soon. Moving on January 19th and the 20th. So I might have some trouble those mornings, by the way, coming up here soon. I think that's just next week. This is like my last Monday here at this house. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I guess the 19th might technically be, but... Alright, alright, alright. I don't know, Outlaw. Kind of. Kind of am. I'm moving to the to the east side. No, the south side. No, it's actually right around my current place, but it's not too far away. Still around the St. Louis area. SLV situation is bonkers. Silver up 6.3%. Yeah, still ripping here. New high made again this morning, 77.70. Look at that daily again. Continues gapping up. 80's coming up. Every time we get to like 70, I'm like, wow. Then we get to 80 a couple weeks later. What's next? 100? Get 100 coming up here in a few months. Maybe 2 months or so. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe sooner if we're lucky, but... Completely underrated, Steve said. The B-Day move. Yeah, Alexander. That's going to be an interesting one, too. So the markets actually closed on the 19th for Martin Luther King Day, if you guys didn't know that. No trading 1 week from today. Might as well inform you all there. Let me turn this music down just a little bit. There we go. A little bit more. You're glad silver's finally moving, Steve said. Finally moving? What? This has been moving all year long. I guess in the ultra short term, there was a little pullback there. Or, especially if you mean from open. Go check out Palantir. Oh yeah. Little 180 pullback. Pretty good size there, too. Pulling back down pretty strong. Manipulation China, JP Morgan for silver and gold. Baba, what an hour candle move. I know Baba's been on. Whoa. Yeah, no kidding. Baba is on fire here. Market's been open around 40 minutes. You're right. Let's check out that. Let's check out 45-minute candles. Sheesh. Yeah, the hourly crazy as well. Yep. JD has been hot too. Breaking out. 30-35. Boom. That big money trade's on fire. It's like that song from Beyonce or something. This girl's on fire. I don't know these singers, so. Whoever it was. The move in silver makes me nervous. The big players are preparing for something and we're going to get the shaft again, Coconut said. Well, hey, keep doing well in the short term. The Tangy Man said Sammy Hagar. Is that a song from him, too? That's pretty funny. Never knew that myself. Now we're going to have Groundhog Day on February 2nd. That's going to be fun. Man, Tesla is starting to come up off its low of the day again. Are we going to actually get through 450? That's going to be a big resistance to try and pop through. My gosh, look at the sellers there. It wiped them out earlier with 71,000 shares. We have 23,000 stacked up again. Not very far off, only about a point away. Man, Tesla's been great too today. Big reason why the SPY's up, that's for sure. See Nvidia kind of consolidating there on the bottom left. Looks pretty good though for a possible buy the dip. There goes Tesla. I saw it just try to touch 450 there. Sold at $26. SoFi cash secure put at $50 each. SoFi, $26 cash secure puts. All right. SoFi sitting like right around 26. I'd probably go a little lower there, but sounds fun. For some reason with SoFi, my heart says to go more for 24. Maybe like 24.50, maybe 25, but hopefully 26 works out for you. By the way, last Wednesday when everything was too cheap to sell, too expensive to buy, and I didn't know what to do, I sold 3 data expiration cash secured puts, worked like a charm, 3 trades, 3 wins. There you go, Tangy Man. What were those ones on? Am I still bullish on MU today? Not a ton right now. It does seem like it's actually coming up, though, off the dip in a pretty awesome way. So, on a very zoomed in intraday basis, yeah, I could see it trying to come up here off the dip. Maybe for a quicker scalp opportunity. I'm not necessarily bullish on the entire run of the day, though. CRWV, CoreWeave. They weren't at the top of our watch list this morning, were they? They're up a lot, 7.6%. Started doing a lot better here recently, I suppose. Baidu's up there, too, with the China stocks. But Baba's leading the way with all those, up 8% plus. Now, it did just reject off resistance, which kind of sucks for it, but... All right, guys, quick intermission. I'll be right back. Give me just a moment, all right? Okay, 1 sec. All right, all right. Quick intermission, get some water. Check on the baby real quick. Wow, Google, what's up with them? They're getting some good volume there. Look at that volume start to come through. That little bit of volume. Let's see. Has to be some news. Not seeing much right now. Yellen said, "This is the road to the banana republic." What the fuck? What did I just read? It seems to me the market should be concerned. I find it extremely chilling for Fed independence. Oh. That stuff, I see. Talking about Jerome Powell again. Be very interesting to see how this goes. Man, Google is really on a face ripper here. Man, Google, let's go check this one out. That was a pretty decent pop there. Couple 1 minute candles exploding like open. The volume came through really good. Man. I'm not seeing any news for him at all. Which there doesn't always have to be, I guess, but I would definitely think with this one there would be something. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Apple picks Google's Gemini. Wow. That is very nice there. Little face ripper action. Man, Google up through 330 now. I knew that there had to be something there. That was a lot of volume starting to hit. Apple picks Google's Gemini to run AI-powered Siri coming up this year. Yeah, that news is starting to hit everywhere now. Oh yeah, that was a good initial move on Google's part. Jake, that could have just been honestly somebody else like knowing, or you know, there's always like different news wires out there and different things like that. It seems like a lot of the Twitter people all got it at the same exact time. Nothing was really faster than the other. It was like literally the same time, but yeah, it's tough to say there. Tough to say. There's lots of different sources, probably like Bloomberg terminals or something. That's what I would guess. That was weird. Must be like a weird phone. Man, Google, though. That's looking nice. It says Google, Alphabet hits $4 trillion in market cap for the first time. There we go. Sounds nice. Little 4 trillion. It's a nice headline to hear, especially if you're a Google shareholder or Google fan. Steve, so glad I got calls this morning. Beautiful, Steve. Yeah, the market literally filled the gap all the way up to 693.80. We talked about that big resistance overhead there. Yeah, filled it perfectly. It did slow down a little bit now, but that was a good gap fill. I know a lot of people were looking to the upside at open. Profit is profit. Oh, yeah. Take it. I like it. Bought Google calls 325, sold 327 right before the headline hit. Oh, yeah, I see. That would have been a beautiful rally to hit, but can't hit them all, I guess, right? Is Apple moving well? Hey, Apple's getting a little bit of a bid now, too. As of a couple minutes ago, they weren't initially moving as well as Google, but they did start popping here. They weren't moving near as well, though, at first. You want your $2? Me too. No, it's funny. $2 already. Bank of America, there we go. 55.18. Boom. Pretty weird morning, though. Oh, I've never heard of that, Tangy. I was able to build an app with Gemini that is equivalent to a $30 a month app. So Gemini is going to take over, the good guy said. I've heard that a lot of people loving Gemini lately, so. I've seen a lot of people getting into it. Yeah, Gemini is pretty wild. I'm sitting here messing with it, and it's really getting crazy there. Holy guacamole, APLDs, we're going to make a run for 40. MM's got to be freaking out right now. APLD is making a good run. Let's see that daily. Gosh. That's a crazy one, Tangy. They might get eaten alive a little bit there. If you pay for a good VPN now, just ask Gemini to build one for you so you don't have to pay monthly, by the way. Really? Gemini will build you a VPN? That's pretty crazy. I had 100 shares at $4 last year. APLD hurts. Oh, that sucks. 100 shares at $4. That would be pretty good right now. 10x. That'd be like $400 into $4,000. Not too bad. Not too shabby there, Mr. James. You get no ads too? Jeez. Almost every website I go to forces me to have ads nowadays. I don't know what it is. Palantir a bit boring today. Tessie still watching it at 450 for a breakout. It's getting pretty close. Getting pretty close. These are some very interesting movements that we're seeing here today. Nvidia is starting to really pull back on the Mag 7. SPY is starting to feel the pressure, so to say. It filled that gap, but as they say, it's hard to continue ripping once you see that gap fill down. Kind of rough there. Ask Gemini for a prompt to feed into Google Studio. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about building those VPNs still. APLD has huge open interest at 35 and 40. APLD is starting to feel that pressure, though. We'll see if the MMs end up winning there, Tangy. If that is MMs. Sure it is. Sure it is. Sure it is. Alex said CPI bull trap. That CPI day is going to be fun tomorrow morning. I can't wait to see how this will be. What will the rate be versus 2.7%? I'm going to go for same. Ooh, everyone voted for above. That's pretty fun. I haven't heard of Google Studio, but I will try it. Outlaw says Google is truly becoming Skynet. People keep making references to that. It's funny. And Google just gave back all their rip, though. They ripped up a ton there. They pretty much gave it all back. As they fall back down here today. Bit saddening. Bots jump on news and pump it. Probably perfect time to buy puts. Would have worked out that time, that's for sure. Apple's still trying to move higher, though. Starting to come up off the dip. SPY, for the most part, is stuck around the high of the day. It's holding this intraday support around 693 very well. Tesla is holding closer to 447.50 very well, too. Wonder how the banks are doing. Maybe if they're helping SPY out a little bit. Bank of America looks just like the SPY. How about JP Morgan? Not near as much. Wells Fargo. Goldman. JP Morgan's going to have earnings in the morning. Now that's going to be a fun one. JP Morgan earnings tomorrow morning. Delta as well. Delta Airlines. Everybody's favorite stock of the week. Concrete Pumping Holdings. That's everybody's favorite. Ticker symbol BBCP. BBCP. Oh, wow. BBCP. Oh. Concrete Pumping. It's $7 stock. Never heard of this one. Find it pretty funny. Concrete Pumping. I know that's wow, look at this nice performance it's had. No, I'm kidding. Nice and choppy and flat. Seems like it is actually doing pretty well, though, into this earnings report. Either way, I'm kidding. BBCP, total joke. JP Morgan, though, is going to be what we watch for with Delta tomorrow. Then Wednesday, gosh, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Bank of America. Thursday, we have Taiwan Semiconductor, Morgan Stanley, Goldman. I think on Wednesday it is. Let's see. Yeah, Wednesday, we could possibly have that Supreme Court ruling as well. It's going to be another opinions day. They might not decide to rule on it, but who knows? Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Just say it out loud a few times. I know. Sounds like baby talk. What? Oh, BBCP? Oh, like it. I get what you mean. Yeah, my daughter kind of sounds like that right now. It's funny. She's actually starting to get some good words, though. She likes to really repeat everything that I say, and I mean everything, man. Like if I said stocks, she'd go, stocks! It sucks whenever you accidentally slip out a curse word, though, and then she starts saying it. It's weird. It reminds me of that movie, Meet the Fockers. Have you guys seen that? Pretty funny. Especially with like sports or something, you get all excited. And you're like, what the hell? And then she's like, what the hell? Gold and silver ripping, Aoli. GLD, new high here. Wow. New recent high. Silver, new all-time high about to touch again. Figured they were going to get slow there, but they're trying to break out. Silver's right there for the taking again. It just does not stop with these in the short term. All right. Who's the person that we always reverse again? We always inverse them. Whoever the inverser is, step out of the woodworks and buy up some silver, and we'll buy puts. I know you guys always like to say that stuff. My parents swore all the time when I was really young. And then they cleaned up their act when my little brothers were born, but it was way too late for me. Too late for Tangy Man. Kramer, oh no. Take it back. Take back those words of Kramer. Man, gold. Is this new GLD highs or has it made a new? No, it did. This is a new high, technically. I thought there was still some resistance there, but no, it powered through on that gap up today. Powered right through. No problem at all there. You take it back? You better take it back. Greta's gonna get you.
How dare you!
Damn, Greta's loud today. The good guy said, I think Costco could be good tomorrow. Because they might move on that tariff news, no? Yeah, you know, they've been doing really good with the tariff news so far, ripping up. Love the way they're moving here. Costco restricted silver buys. 1 5-ounce bar per customer per day. I thought I heard that with gold. I didn't know it was silver, though. Darn, I should go to Costco and buy some. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Futures have been on fire, though. You know what I do need to buy from Costco, though? Some workout equipment. You bought a 5-ounce silver bar on SD Bullion about 2 weeks ago. It still hasn't ever shipped. The current price is already up over 20 bucks. Whoa. Yeah, I figured you didn't mean solver. Whatever that would be. That's funny. That's funny. Tom, you heard of AREC? I have not. AREC, American Resources Corporation. Did pretty well here recently, though. No, I have not. Looks like every once in a while this one gets a big face rip. It's starting to come up off this recent dip. I don't love it, though. Jake bought from them like 2 weeks ago from JM Bouillon. There you go. Man, you guys are really... Everyone's loving silver. This reminds me of whenever Bitcoin explodes, how people go crazy. This one really is nuts, though. I'm going to be honest. This is just utterly insane. Futures move fast. Tom, when there's a huge gap like this, does it necessarily have to fill it? No, definitely not. Definitely not, Aoli. Now, I do see gaps fill a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, look at the SPY today. See how it filled its gap perfectly? Silver and gold are way different. They do not always fill their gaps. Let's actually look at the hourly. Because, like, let's just look at all these gaps. Because, you know, there was like a gap here that didn't fill, and then there was... That's, you know, the funny part is a lot of these gaps did fill. Or almost fill anyways, like right there. You know, this one, this one, this one. They all filled recently, so I don't want to necessarily say that it's not going to fill the gap, but it doesn't have to by any means. You know, you can see these previous examples where it'll gap and not always fill. Here's one. A lot of them do seem to fill, though. It's kind of strange. I know that's something a lot of traders look for. If we do start to see pullback tomorrow or something, I would think it could possibly fill. I don't think it would fill today, but I think if anything, we'll get a gap down tomorrow morning, kind of like where I'm circling. And again, I'm not saying it's going to fill it all the way, but I could see it attempting or getting down into that zone. Pretty strange, though. Yeah, like Mason said, nothing's ever guaranteed. Yeah. New high of day incoming for SPY, user said. Hey. Yeah, it's right there. Still kind of straddling resistance, though, but yeah, you're right. Right there. Might see it hit. Hey, Tom, do you think that if CCL can pass 3280, so Carnival Cruise Lines, and by the way, SPY is testing that high of the day right now. Do you think CCL, if it can pass 3280, can we possibly see it fill the gap up to 4150? 4150, whoa. God, that's a big gap. Oh my gosh, I would just say it's the 40, but my word. It does seem like that's plausible if we do start to see a real rip. The way CCL moves is pretty momentum filled. There can be some great price action there. I could see it ripping through 32.83 and trying to attempt. Yeah, push up towards 40. I mean, I could see it. I could see it. The stock moves quite a bit. It really isn't that big of a move considering, especially how much it's popped up the past few years. Sorry, guys. Taking care of something really quick. But yeah, CCL is on fire on the daily chart. It's a crazy rip like that. SPY just ripped through that high of the day here, trying to make a run. Watch 694. It's touching it and starting to reject a little bit. Not my favorite move ever. Not bad, though. SPY's about to be green. It's crazy. Yeah, you're right. About to be like break even on the day and maybe go green. It is pretty nuts. That was a big recovery this morning too, to fill that gap like that. That is crazy to see. Crazy work. Tesla has been one of the biggest reasons why, but they have been slowing up. But it seems like Tesla's chopping down to kind of coil for a much larger breakout or pop to come into play. This track is a banger, Tom. It's a pretty funny one. AMD up, Bobby Henry says. Advanced Money Destroyer. No, I'm kidding. It's Dispenser today. Wow, it's been doing pretty good. It seems like it's getting to that point where it's going to slow up a little bit today, but it has been pretty nice. It does seem like it wants to slow down here, though. Go Bobby Henry. BRB gonna grab some bacon. Oh man, that sounds great right now. I'll take some bacon too. I have some bacon to make, but I don't know if I've got the time today or not. Google, Leon says. Leon. Google had that good news earlier. Did you hear about their news? Yeah, they ran up quite a bit, 334. Now they're just consolidating down here at the bottom again. Apple picked them to run their Siri AI. I thought that was pretty cool. I just need SoFi to move and I'll have a good day. There you go. You need SoFi to move. Trying to move up on you. You need it to recover all the way back is what you're saying? LMND is up, but in the chopping block between 80 and 85. Lemonade. Hey guys, don't forget though, tomorrow morning is going to be a big morning, 1 hour before open. I want everybody to hear this before we end the stream, which we're not ending it right away, but, you know, just want to get as many people hearing it as possible. 1 hour before open, key CPI inflation data will be releasing tomorrow. This will be a big release. We haven't had monthly data in a little bit, and we're going to get that year-over-year data. The last year-over-year reading came in well at 2.7%. So we are expecting it to come in this time, at least on trading economics here, the consensus is 2.7% again. So they're expecting it to stay the same on the year-over-year regular rate. On the core year-over-year inflation, they're looking for it to pop up by 0.1%, which really isn't that crazy. Really not that crazy at all, but just wanted everybody to hear this. Be careful swinging SPY into tomorrow morning. There can be some wild swings that occur. Now, who knows? Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you're trying to play it, right? You're trying to play like a swing, but This is looking really good. TTD, you're looking at the trade desk. Not sure if you should get some. TTD, 0.43% today, starting to move a bit higher, 37.50. I like the low end here, 37.25 as well. Looking at the market as a whole here, the Mag 7. SPY's looking great again, 694 breaking through. New high of the day by SPY, clearly coming into play. Wow, we might be testing the all-time high from Friday over the next little while or so. Wow, seeing great action again. Again. That is a good move. Walmart's up 3%. WMT? Hey! That's nice. Walmart's sitting around 118.50. Beautiful. It's a beautiful run there, though. Just love to see it. Nice and happy with that one. NBIS Nebius. Walmart looks kind of decent today, just kind of flat though. Holy shit, my headset today is terrible. It's like the Wi-Fi is like messing with the wireless and it's like going crazy. Do you think if Lemonade can break 85, it can go to 91 and then maybe 112? Been watching it for a while. Go to 95 and then maybe... Oh, you're looking at Lemonade, though. Ah, that makes more sense. $91 and then maybe 112. I see why you're looking around 112. With the way the Lemonade's been moving, it's definitely possible. I think 112 would be a tough ask. I would think closer to like 97 here would be my first real stop that I look for. This peak from back whenever Lemonade IPO'd. There's a pretty good resistance there. That would be the first level I look for sure. It does seem like, though, it's trying to test this for a possible break coming soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see it try and break out more either. It's on fire. Market's on fire. China's gapping up. Hood. HOOD. 2.88% today. Pretty decent. It's up on the watch list, but you had to scroll down a little bit, just like the second page. But yeah, Blink's moving a lot. CoreWeave up now 11%. Blink charging. What the hell? CoreWeave. Love it, though. It's pretty much matching Blink. And as we know, CoreWeave, a lot more volume and volatility in the short term. At least it moves better. It's not like 80 cents either. Neo's popping with the China stock, 6.3%. JD, Baidu, Baba. Look at JD with that recent big money play, now up 4.2%, making a new high of the day again. My gosh, JD. I'm in love with it. User coming through. Whoa. With the super. Blew out my eardrums. That's okay, though. I'll take that any day of the week. Like and subscribe. Keep crushing it, Tom. The Tangy Man. Whoa. That's 2 at the same time. That's pretty awesome. Got to share the wealth all my friends eat when I win. Let's go, Tangy Man. User says like and subscribe. Keep crushing it. Stocked up community. Fuck yeah. Thanks both of you guys. That's awesome. Tangy Man's winning today, it sounds like. That's for sure. Says the bacon's yummy. You're so glad the American God doesn't forbid it. That's funny. Yeah, sharing in the love. Let's go. I'm gonna go buy a pack of bacon now. We need a stocked up IPO. Man, Jason, it's my favorite thing for breakfast. It is my favorite thing for breakfast. It's always been a staple in our household ever since I was a little kid. I appreciate it, user. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's like extra loud today, but it's okay. We'll take it. We'll take it either way. We'll put up with the loud. Hey, you too, though. 1 minute chart trying to get Palantir's base to pop back up. Nvidia coming back. NVDA recovering. Like it. What's your best winner today, Tangy Man? Earlier you said Bigly. There we go, though. SPY ripping. Up only 0.08%, but it is pushing the all-time high again. It's getting very close. The all-time high is at 695.30. Okay, so you did OSS. I see. Ooh, now here's a good question. Johnny Richter said Mercedes G63 or BMW M5. I don't know what years you're talking about, but I'm going to go ahead. Wait, did you say G63? Hang on. Like a, oh, GT63. Ah, sorry. There we go. A GT63 AMG or BMW M5. Tough to say. The GT63 is very expensive. It's fast. 0 to 60 in like 3.1, 3.3. I'm a bigger fan of the BMW. If I had to pick one of those, I'd be picking a BMW M5 all day long. But, I mean, I like some of those GTs too. It just depends, but I don't know. It's hard not to pick the Beamer in my eyes. Mercedes doesn't hold traction in the wet. Ah. Who drives when it's wet anyways? I'm just kidding. Obviously I don't, but I try not to. Man, Tessie. Come on, 450. Let's see it test again here. Holding the base well as SPY rips the new highs of the day. Let's go back to the Mag 7. Wow, Google's coming up off the dip. Meta, Apple, Microsoft, all these stocks are coming up off of their intraday dips, which is really helping. Nvidia is applying a lot of pressure to the SPY. Truly helping it come back in a good way. Yeah, I would definitely pick a BMW M5 though, and what I would do is I would just modify it a little bit, and gosh, that twin turbo V8 will turn into like 750, 800 horsepower with almost like nothing needing to be done to it. Very little, but very little. You know, we haven't looked at race in a little while. Good old race. Let's check it. Ferrari. Been a few days. Probably since Friday. You guys are probably gonna make fun of me there. We look at this one quite often. You missed the Autobahn. That would be really fun, actually. That would actually be really cool. Yeah, race not doing much here. Back to the SPY, which is pushing towards highs, so we'll stick there. We'll stick there. We'll stick to Nvidia. Nice PA here. We might go over to the China stocks in a minute, but right now we're still looking good. JD, oh yeah, 4.2%. Woo! Baba looking good too. 10%. Whoa, Baba's at 10% on the day. Look at him in third on the watch list there. Beautiful. CoreWeave, same thing, up to 90. Gosh, these stocks are on fire. Chewy. CHWI moving pretty well. $34, breaking out. Okay. There you go, Chewy. Oh, God, yeah, they do. Richter. The Mercedes, even the BMWs do, too. It's crazy. Like, here, watch this. So a 2019 BMW M5 starting MSRP was like 102 to 103,000. Now this is 2019, so these are like 6 years old now. Maybe 7, depending on when you bought it, but now you can buy like a 2020 BMW M5 for like 63,000, 56,000, maybe less even. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That's like 50% of the value. Now, it has been a few years, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of value loss there. Some of those GT cars, though, are pretty insane. I can't lie. Pretty awesome cars, though. I always like those M5 comps. Either way, nice action today. Man, SPY might be slowing up a little bit. It's getting close to that all-time high, so. My other car is like 7 or 8 motorcycles that usually don't run. I never bought new. 2 to 3 years is my sweet spot. Still warranty and at least 10 to 15% cheaper. Yeah, I always like getting them a little older too. We bought a new car and we like it, but I generally don't like buying new cars because I like to modify a lot of cars, you know, and if you mod them, you like ruin the warranties generally, and that's always great. But, all right, guys, we're probably going to call the stream there today. Pretty good movement so far. Be careful here of possible rejection at resistance. Ooh, watch out. SPY's starting to turn over a little bit more. Tom the Bacon Master. Uh-oh. The Bacon Master. I like it. Man, I want some really bad now, Jason. Thank you, sir. Both my challengers were 2 years old. Yep. Have a great one, guys. Jason, Tangy Man, Joe Papa, the good guy, Coconut, of course, Ramirez, Mr. James, Johnny Richter. Appreciate all you guys, even the ones I'm missing. Aoli, of course, User, KJ, YouTube Swan, Mr. James, Leon, Outlaw Star, Mason, of course, Jake, Brain. Thought I said Brain earlier. Who knows? Alex. Steve. Luis or Luis. Manny. Manicured Willard, I should say. Ahmad. Raphael. All right. Zachary Overton, Almighty J. Yeah, thanks for joining up, guys. Thela. Guy Shen, nice, the good guy. All right, guys, have a great one. I'll talk to you later. See you in the Discord, hopefully today. It's going to be, well, it's been a fun start to the week so far. It'll probably get a little boring here at lunchtime, so don't be surprised. Just go grab some food and then hop back, right? All right, I'm serious this time. Gotta go.
All right.